Broken Fed Chapter 1. Face first on Jefferson Avenue. One phone call blew up Malik Carter's spotless world like somebody yanked the battery out of the sun. His Bluetooth still crackled with his lawyers. "Bro, the SEC just froze everything" when the Detroit wind slapped the phone from his hand and sent it skittering down Jefferson Avenue like a runaway playing card. 10 minutes earlier, Malik had been the ex-tech wunderkind plotting a comeback. Now he was the broke dude chasing a cracked screen across slush and potholes, while February snow tried to pick a fight with his eyelashes. He caught the phone, lost his footing, and pancaked onto the curb. Designer loafers, fake confidence on sale, sopped up gray meltwater. Cars whooshed past, tossing road salt, and somebody yelled from a bus stop, "Yo, Wall Street, need a ride?" If sarcasm were currency, Detroit drivers were billionaires. Malik rolled over, staring at the rust-colored clouds. His chest felt like the Grand Canyon got repossessed. The ATM behind him still blinked insufficient funds like it enjoyed the joke. He tried to laugh. It came out a cough. A food truck 2 spaces down puffed Cajun spice steam into the air. The sign read, "Gumbo Gal. Try a bowl, fix your soul." Tasha Brooks leaned out the window, 30-ish, coffee-brown skin glowing against the neon menu, curls tucked under a tiger's beanie. She spotted Malik, winced, and hollered, "Hey, Wall Street! You allergic to sidewalks or just practicing the backstroke?" He pushed himself up, dripping like a busted fire hydrant. "Sidewalk 1, he croaked. Tasha snapped on pink gloves, marched over with a styrofoam cup and pressed it into his hands. Chicken and sausage gumbo on the house, also on the street apparently. Steam curled under Malik's nose. The smell was bay leaf and forgiveness. He sipped, burned his tongue, and tasted the first warmth he'd felt in a month. "Name's Tasha," she said. "You look like somebody who could use a favor and a tetanus shot." "Malik," he muttered. He swayed. She caught his elbow. Snowflakes dotted her lashes like glitter at a gospel concert. "You got anywhere to crash, Malik?" "My condo's currently in witness protection," he said. Humor was his last line of credit. Tasha laughed, deep and rolling. "Lucky for you, I got a thrift store couch that hasn't eaten a billionaire yet." She steered him toward the truck. Her boots splashed puddles that reflected traffic lights. Green, yellow, hope, maybe. Inside the truck, heat hugged him. Cast-iron pots burbled like friendly gossip. Grease popped a rhythm section. Tasha handed him a towel. "Dry up, sit down. Pretend you ain't freezing." Her younger sister Bree, 17, popped her head from behind a stack of to-go boxes, eyebrow raised. "Sis, why we rescuing random dudes again? Last one left with our spatula." Malik managed a grin. "Promise I'm spatula-free," Bree snorted. "Cool, wash your hands, Forbes." Tasha slapped Bree's shoulder. "Be nice. Man's day just hit the clearance rack." The sisters' banter warmed the cramped space more than the propane burners. Malik felt something in his chest unlatch. Maybe pride, maybe common sense. His phone buzzed with another lawyer voicemail, but he silenced it. Right now, the only deadline he cared about was finishing that gumbo before it cooled. Outside, downtown lights flickered on, turning wet pavement into a disco ball. Trouble still waited, but so did second chances, apparently served with rice and a wink on Jefferson Avenue. Chapter 2. Sofa City Survival School. Malik woke to the scent of frying bacon and the offbeat thump of downstairs clippers. The barber shop under Tasha's apartment opened at sunrise, and its bass-heavy chatter vibrated the plywood under the couch springs. He blinked at the ceiling, trying to remember why his pillow was a seat cushion that smelled like lemon pine sol. Then the night before crashed back like bad Wi-Fi. Frozen accounts, faceplant in the slush, Gumbo salvation. Tasha hollered from the kitchen, "Yo, Wall Street, you alive? Bacon's got a 2-minute warranty." He shuffled in wearing Bree's extra sweatpants, hot pink with glitter letters reading Queen across the backside. Bree spat toothpaste laughter from the bathroom doorway. "They fit kinda snug, Forbes." Malik tugged at the waistband. "Fashion Week ain't ready." The kitchen was barely bigger than the food truck, but sunlight painted the yellow walls like fresh hope. A tiny aloe plant leaned in the window, thirsty yet stubborn. Tasha flipped bacon with a fork, hips swaying to an old Anita Baker record. Malik's stomach growled loud enough to audition for the choir. He reached for a slice. She smacked his hand with the fork. "Sit. Pray you don't burn my grease." He flopped into a vinyl chair that squeaked out an embarrassing protest. His phone buzzed with a bank alert. Another fee for money he didn't have. He powered it off. The sizzle of bacon felt more real than digital doom. Tasha plated food, slid it over. Day 1 of Sofa City Survival School. Lesson 1. Humility pairs well with grits. He tried a joke-laden grin. "Copy that, coach." After breakfast, they trudged into the gray Detroit morning. March snow clung to curbs like leftover frosting. Bree hopped onto the number 10 bus toward Cass Tech, earbuds blasting. Malik and Tasha headed for Eastern Market, her shoulders squared against the wind. His stuffed into a loner hoodie smelling of smoked paprika. At the produce stall, they lifted boxes of onions while vendors shouted prices like auctioneers. Malik's soft hands blistered before coffee break. Tasha whistled. "Your boardroom biceps looking shaky, bro." "Laugh it up," he puffed. "These onions got vengeance." She laughed anyway, the sound ringing clean across the parking lot. He found himself grinning back, a ridiculous warmth bubbling beneath the cold. Trouble was, warmth felt risky. Affection could turn to dependency, and he already owed this woman more than he could count. On break, they shared a styrofoam cup of cheap cocoa. Steam curled between them like a question nobody wanted to voice. Malik blurted first. "Why'd you help me? You didn't know me from Adam." She shrugged, eyes on the skyline where abandoned factories stabbed the clouds. "My grandma used to say, if you pass a drowning man 'cause you fear getting wet, one day you'll drown for lack of a hand. Besides, you looked like a drowned cat in a Gucci collar. Hard to ignore." A gust swept her curls across her face. Malik brushed the strands back before he realized his hand was moving. Their eyes locked. Static filled the silence. Then her phone buzzed. She stepped away, cheeks flushed. He stuck his hands in his pockets, cursing his heartbeat for acting like it skipped class. That afternoon, they hit Tasha's food truck spot outside Wayne State. Business was slow, students crammed for midterms, wallets thin. Malik suggested a 2-for-1 flyer. She snorted. "Mr. Marketing thinks a coupon fixes the economy?" He winked. "Worked on me, didn't it?" They laughed, passed out flyers, and by dusk the gumbo pots were scraped clean. Tasha split the cash, shoving half into Malik's palm. He tried to refuse. She folded his fingers over the bills. "Survival school rule 2, everybody earns, everybody eats." Later, back at the apartment, fatigue hit like a freight train. Bree filmed a TikTok of Malik massaging his blistered palms with aloe gel. Hashtag billionaire problems, she teased. Her laughter lit the room brighter than the wobbly floor lamp. When the sisters dozed, Malik lay staring at the cracked ceiling paint. Snow tapped the window like restless fingers. In his mind ran an old river proverb his late mother loved. A man is only as rich as the stories that follow him home. He wondered what story he was writing now, sleeping on a borrowed couch with debt howling at the door. But for the first time in months, the howling didn't drown out the sound of his own heartbeat, or the memory of Tasha's laugh. Outside, the wind shifted east, carrying the distant hum of factory whistles and the promise of storms yet to come. Sofa City had given lesson 3 without speaking. When a tree falls, its roots taste the earth's secrets. Malik drifted to sleep, tasting both dirt and possibility, unaware that tomorrow would test every rule the survival school could offer. Chapter 3. The Lone Shark Bite. April rain slapped the tin roof of Gumbo Gal like a drummer late to rehearsal. Malik and Tasha hustled through closing, stacking pans while thunder rattled the parking lot. Business had boomed all week. Malik's buy one get one flyers turned broke college kids into repeat customers. But every extra dollar vanished into Tasha's purse as fast as it landed. He noticed the worry lines digging deeper at the corners of her smile, but pride kept him from asking. When the last student shuffled off with to-go cups of jambalaya, a matte black Dodge Charger rolled up, engine purring like a panther. 2 men stepped out, suits too nice for this side of town, smiles too cold for spring. Bree, doing homework by the register, muttered, "Uh-oh. IRS with muscles." The tall one, sapphire cufflinks, shark eyes, tapped the counter. "Evening, Miss Brooks, got something that belongs to us?" Tasha's shoulders squared. "Mr. Cyrus, I promised payment Friday." "It's Wednesday. Interest don't do weekends, honey." Malik felt the air thin. "Friends of yours?" Tasha flashed a warning glance, the kind that could silence a marching band. Cyrus traced a finger along the tip jar. "You're short 3 grand plus the juice. Tick-tock." Bree's pencil snapped. Malik stepped forward. "Whatever she owes, I'll cover it." Cyrus laughed like loose gravel. "You her new sponsor, pretty boy? Debt's 10 large now. Got that in your sock?" Malik's gut twisted. His bank app still blinked zeros. Even the overdraft was overdrawn. Tasha slid between them. "He's not involved." Cyrus slid a yellow envelope over Gumbo-splattered stainless steel. "Friday midnight, or we change the menu to repossession." He tipped an invisible hat and left, rain swallowing the Charger's taillights. Silence sat heavy until Bree slammed a pot lid. "Tasha, you promised no more loan sharks." Malik's voice cracked. "Why didn't you tell me?" She wiped a tear with the back of a Cajun-spiced glove. "You were drowning. I figured I could dog paddle both of us." He grabbed the envelope. Predatory contract. 50% interest. Tiny print sharper than a switchblade. "This is madness." "Madness kept a roof over Bree's head," she snapped, then softer, "and bandages on your busted ego." The rain grew louder, like the city itself was eavesdropping. Malik's chest burned with equal parts gratitude and shame. He reached for Tasha's hand. She pulled away, eyes glossy. "Don't pay me back with pity, Malik. Pay me back by standing up." That night he paced the thrift store couch, phone glowing in the dark while Tasha and Bree slept. Every contact he once called a friend ghosted his texts. Finally, near dawn, an old rival answered, Devin Tate, venture capital hustler from Silicon Valley. Malik swallowed pride and pitched a half-baked logistics app he'd sketched on pizza boxes. Devin chuckled. You got 48 hours to send a prototype. Impress me, I'll wire you seed cash. Malik hung up, pulse hammering. Sofa City Survival School just added night classes in desperation. He glanced at Tasha, curled on the mattress, brow furrowed even in sleep, and whispered a promise the rain carried down Jefferson Avenue. He'd find 10 grand or bleed trying. Outside, dawn cracked the horizon blush pink over abandoned factories. An old Yoruba saying drifted through Malik's mind, his mama's voice threading the words. When a man borrows another's paddle, he must row against his own storm. He rolled up the sleeves of Breeze Queen sweatpants, fired up Tasha's busted laptop, and started rowing. Chapter 4. The Pivot on 8 Mile. Friday morning broke with a red-gold sunrise that painted Detroit's abandoned smokestacks like worn brass horns. Malik hadn't slept. Lines of code still flickered in his pupils. Tasha found him hunched over the busted laptop, hair wild, sweatshirt inside out. She shoved a mug of chicory coffee into his hands. Smell that? Hustle roast, extra desperation. He grinned, lips shaking. Prototype's done. Now I gotta sell it to a man who once called me a discount Zuckerberg. Then put on your bargain smile, big money. She patted his cheek, a touch that sparked deeper than caffeine and scared him worse than Cyrus's charger. By noon, Malik sat in an empty warehouse off 8 Mile, Wi-Fi sketchy, snow drifting through a broken skylight. Devin Tate's video call loaded with a frozen grin halfway to smug. Malik pitched hard, an app that matched idle box trucks with small businesses inside one zip code, real-time, low fee. Devin drummed fingers, then barked, You own any equity left in your brain? Malik answered with a tired shrug and a crooked smile. Devin laughed. Ugly slide deck, beautiful math. I'll wire 25 grand today, another 25 on launch. Try not to faceplant this time, brother. The screen went dark, but the warehouse glowed warmer than July. Malik sprinted outside, phone to ear, voice cracking at the bank's hold music. Funds cleared at 4:07 p.m. He rerouted 10 grand straight to Cyrus's account with a memo line that read, Paid in full with interest, bless your heart. An old Southern proverb floated through his mind, whispered in his grandma's drawl. A goat that nibbles the lion's tail should learn to sprint. He felt the tail drop. Twilight smeared pink across 8 Mile when the charger swung beside Gumbo Gal. Cyrus stepped out expecting blood. Malik leaned on the fender, bounced a basketball of confidence. Evening, shark, your money's swimming in your bank. He flashed the receipt. Cyrus scrolled his phone, jaw stiff. Well now, guess the menu's closed. He flicked an icy glance at Tasha, then at Malik. But remember, rivers flood every spring. He peeled away, tires spitting salt. Bree burst from the truck, waving a pot lid like a championship ring. We free, y'all. She hugged Malik before he could react. Tasha followed slower, eyes shining with relief that blurred into something heavier. Thank you, she murmured. But Devin's money ain't charity? Investment, Malik said. I promised him a launch in 90 days. He swallowed. And I promised myself something else. Snow fell soft, like the city exhaled. Tasha folded her arms. Promises cost. The words landed gentle, but Malik felt the bill come due. Under the streetlight, her fatigue showed, bruised crescents beneath eyes that still searched the future like a map with coffee stains. He reached for her hand. She let him, fingers cool as river stones. Sirens wailed distant. Buses hissed past. The Gumbo truck's neon flickered to life. Malik whispered, "In my village back home, we say a traveler thanks the tree that offered shade, then plants another for the next traveler." He squeezed her hand. "Let me plant." She opened her mouth. Then the phone in her apron shrilled. Tasha paled, mouthed "landlord," and stepped away to answer. Malik watched her silhouette tense against the truck's glow, shoulders folding inward. Bree tugged his sleeve. "Our building's getting bulldozed next month. We got 30 days to disappear." Cold sliced deeper than wind. Malik's fresh victory tasted like day-old gumbo. The proverb echoed darker. A man who clears one debt may inherit a forest of thorns. He looked at the wired cash receipt, smiling emoji on the memo suddenly mocking, and realized the storm had only shifted lanes. That night snow quit, but clouds stayed thick, hiding stars. Malik paced the apartment roof, city lights buzzing like broken halos. He vowed the tree he'd plant for Tasha wouldn't just give shade, it would bear fruit thick enough to bury every thorn Detroit could grow. Downstairs, the sisters argued in low, tired voices, and Malik felt the weight of their faith settling on his shoulders like fresh snow. Light at first, then heavy with the promise of thaw. Chapter 5, Peach Cobbler Payback. Summer snuck into Detroit like it owed back rent, swapping snowbanks for barbecue smoke and cicada beats. 90 days sprinted past. Malik's TruckLink app hit the App Store, crashed twice from traffic, then rocketed to trending. Devin wired the second 50 grand with a text, "Not bad for a dude in glitter sweats." Malik grinned, but the real endgame sat on a folding chair outside Gumbo Gal. Tasha, fanning herself with a paper plate, eviction date circled red on her phone. 2 weeks before wrecking balls, Malik dragged her and Bree to a dusty church gym on Gratiot he'd bought at auction. Pews stacked like dominoes, stained glass saints winking through grime. "Picture a shared kitchen up front, study pods in back, 4 apartments on top," he said, voice shaking between hope and terror. Tasha crossed her arms. "Picture the price tag, big money." "Paid," he said, sliding her a deed with her name beside his. Bree whooped so loud a pigeon fainted. Tasha's lips parted, but before words formed, the gym door banged open. Landlord Misters, pocketing a check from the city, strutted in with 2 deputies. "Brooks sisters, you got 48 hours. Malik stepped forward, suit dusty from demo work. "They moved yesterday." He waved the deed. "And I bought your wrecking crew coffee, told 'em day off." Deputies shrugged, tipped caps, walked. The landlord sputtered curses while backing out, tripping over holy water buckets. Bree filmed the exit for TikTok, captioning it, "Plot twist, landlord meets plot hole." Renovation became a neighborhood revival. Retired electricians rewired lights for free meals. Street artists traded murals for storage space. And Malik learned putty knives leave blisters worse than coating ever did. He and Tasha argued drywall measurements, laughed over splattered paint, and shared midnight chili under a half-lit exit sign that hummed like slow jazz. Yet each near touch felt fenced by unspoken debts. Grand opening landed on Juneteenth block party style. Food trucks circled the curb. A DJ spun Marvin Gaye into Megan Thee Stallion without apology. The new sign, Brooks Community Kitchen, glowed blue over the door. Inside, volunteers ladled gumbo as gleaming as Tasha's eyes. Malik found her in the storeroom, nerves jangling like tambourines. "Why me?" she whispered. "You could have bounced to Silicon Valley already." He took her calloused hands. "Because the day I face planted, you didn't walk past." My mama used to say, if kindness saves your life, don't repay it. Pass it forward so it circles back. I want to keep the circle spinning, with you. Her smile trembled, half doubt, half sunrise. Circles make me dizzy, she teased, then kissed him anyway, soft as powdered sugar on beignets. Outside, Bree pounded on the door, yelling, "Y'all better not burn the cobbler!" They stepped out to cheers. Malik sliced the first peach cobbler square, handed it to Tasha, and raised his voice like a preacher who just spotted heaven on sale. Family trucks move freight, but love moves people. This building ain't charity. It's proof that a seed of goodness planted in broke concrete can bust up asphalt and grow fruit sweet enough for the whole block. The crowd hollered amen. Somewhere in the back, old Mr. Cyrus watched, arms folded, a slow grin suggesting even sharks respect bigger tides. As the sun melted behind downtown's silhouette, Malik felt Tasha's head rest on his shoulder. The city smelled of peaches, diesel, and fresh paint, scents of battles fought and futures bargained. He thought of the proverb that guided him. A tree rooted in gratitude bears storms without snapping. Tonight their tree stretched wide, heavy with promise, offering shade to anyone stumbling face first on Jefferson Avenue, heartbroken or broke, hungry for gumbo or a second chance.